see the way they hate. And I know better than to listen to the people who are calling us slaves. I can feel the sun.
Well, good morning. It's Monday, December 30th, 2024, and welcome to episode 819 of the Lost Project Morning Show, where the coffee's strong, the opinions are stronger, and everything is always filter-free. I'm Brian, your host, and today I'm enjoying an Ethiopian light roast from foodforestfarms.com, where you can get 10% off with discount code LOTS10, and shipping is always free. While you're there, check out C4 Club. C4 Club membership discount is through. I might be able to sneak in another shot at it for you if you contact me directly. But check out C4 Club, full price, discount price, any price. It is a hell of a deal. I'm telling you, it's the best deal you're going to find out there on a monthly coffee subscription. Customer service and the product is absolutely phenomenal. There's also other perks, so definitely check it out at foodforestfarms.com. Use LOTS10, LOTS10 to grab you 10% off any regular priced item over there. Today, I'm going to be talking about a strange coincidence down the road that we're trying to figure out and determine if it's actually true. We're going to talk about my new my Q1 learning goals. Hopefully, you'll be learning every day another couple of things of bullshit from the USPS and a little bit more. We'll see what comes up. Hopefully everybody's having a fantastic day. I hope you had an awesome Christmas. Thanks for swinging in. Rewilder Life, good morning. She's having some coffee and packing. Congratulations on moving the first of the things to the new place. I saw the pictures in the Telegram group. Hunter, good morning over on Twitch. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate that. White Ethiopian. It's fantastic. It's one of my favorites. One of my favorites that Brian sends out is the Ethiopian. And when he does it on the lighter end of that bean, it's absolutely fantastic, and I really enjoy it. So, how was everyone's Christmas? I hope your Christmas was fantastic. Corey and I just hung out, had a bunch of calls with the family, my family, her family, and watched kids open presents. Since we have nieces and nephews, we got twins on one side and a couple boys on the other side. and again, I think we came in first place on the best toys, the best presents. I guess they weren't all toys this year. The other couple of them got some stuff that wasn't toys, but consistently year in, year out, even without spending a bunch of time with them, knowing what they're into, what they're interested in, we get a little bit of information from the parents, but mainly we go blind. We know how old they are, and we have a price limit. We go and scour the interwebs for cool presents, and consistently we end up being told that we hit the jackpot. Kids like our stuff and immediately gravitate towards it. So I don't know if it's because we're both big kids. I don't know if it's because we're Aunt Corey and Uncle Brian, what it is, but we always seem to hit the jackpot on the toys. So that was fun. I like seeing the kids open up the stuff and get excited about it. And they definitely do that. So that was fun. Talked to parents on both sides and just had a decent Christmas, and hung out with Corey and spent time with her and the dogs. But that was our Christmas. New Year's coming up. Rewilder, let's aunts and uncles buy the best stuff. For sure. Oh, for sure. I'm so glad. It's so fun. And everybody's you buy drum sets and blah 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 and all this stuff. And I'm like, no, you don't need to do that. We used to be a little bit we used to keep that in mind a little bit when we would buy toys. We try to get the noisy fun stuff that would drive them crazy. But at this point, it's all about the kids and making sure the kids like it. And somehow we find good stuff. Corey's really good at it. And I end up pulling a few winners for the boys for sure. So, yeah, New Year's coming up this week. Our whole plan, our whole plan for New Year's is a whole lot of nothing. I think that's pretty normal. Getting up into your 40s, and yeah, it's been a long time. Actually, I shouldn't say 40s. It'd be 30s. It'd been a while. It's been a while since I was out on New Year's Eve. It's just another day, guys. It's just another day. Reset the clock. And having it drop in the middle of the week is really weird. So, you got big New Year's plans? Are you a New Year's partier? I don't know about that anymore. I worked many New Year's Eves as a bartender, and it was never worth it. The people that are out and about on New Year's Eve are usually people that don't go out other than New Year's Eve, and it shows. It shows. So tips are down, and drunken nonsense is up, and it's not a lot of enjoyment for me. But maybe that's your thing. Maybe that's your thing. So. New Year's for us will be we'll probably be in bed normal time 8-9 o'clock and wake up the next morning and do our thing. I think Corey actually might work. Do you work on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve? Yeah, at this point she's off on New Year's Day, so I don't even know what the holiday is. Is the holiday the special day before the first day of the year or the special day after? But whatever. All right, well, let's get to the list. First thing on the list is a coincidence, and Rewilder Life chimes in. It's just same. We've been. I'm guessing she meant to say boring for years, and I'm good with it. It rolled out as they've been born king for years, and I'm good with it. I don't know if she's sitting on her throne in sitting on her throne at her home and just being king for years, but I'm guessing it was boring. But autocorrect, gotta love it. Good morning and good day and good week to you, John Palmer. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate that. So Rewilder Life is king. She hates her stupid phone. So I tell a little story, and I don't really know how to feel about it yet. It's it hasn't really well, first of all, it hasn't been verified yet. It could still be a huge coincidence. It hasn't really been verified yet. I'm really leaning towards the affirmative that this that what happened is factual. What happened really happened. What I made up in my head is true. I think Corey is on the same page with what happened, what our theory is. But I'm going to take you back a long time, year-ish or more. And I've talked about it on this show for a bunch of times, really. But we walk our dogs down this road here outside where our campers park. And it's a 2-lane road. It's 45-mile-an-hour road. It's not the best to walk on. Fortunately, it isn't really busy. It's it can get moderately busy depending on the time of day. But the most you're going to get is like 2, maybe 3 if it's really busy cars in a row. But it's just the fact that there's no shoulder. There's a big ditch we can walk down in, but basically the line on the side of the road is on the edge of the pavement. In some places, it actually goes off the pavement. So it's not the ideal place to be walking the dogs. And it is what it is. It's the best place. It's the best of the worst, basically. And along the route, we encounter many challenges. Originally it was basically one dog. We would walk down, and about 4 lots down from us, there's a trailer, um, and there was a dog there, and appropriately we named the dog Trailer Dog, and it was sometimes tied up, rarely tied up, and it wasn't outside all the time. It was old. You could tell it was super old. It was all mangy. I've talked about many times that it would come and bark at us and be all vicious and never really get close enough. It was scared of us, but it would act tough all the way up until it got close enough to stop and just bark at us incessantly, and then follow us down the road with the dogs. And I was never worried that this dog was going to injure me or Corey or the dogs. It was more controlling our dogs with this distraction, trying to control 170 pound Saint Bernard. And at one point when we were dealing with this dog, it was the 3 of them. So it was 170, 130, 160 pounds, all trying to get to each other. So it was a pain in the ass, and it was a lot of stress every time we walked by. Fast forward, we've had to deal with Chihuahuas at another house a little further down the road. That was the house that we thought that once Walter had gone, Corey was going to be able to walk the 2 dogs, the 170 pound and the 130 pound by herself, until the Chihuahua incident that she got dragged into the yard and pulled down because someone couldn't control their Chihuahuas and they were out in the street harassing our dogs. So that was another incident on the road. Everything was just, it was kind of piling on. We had some new people move into one of the trailers on the road, and they had more Chihuahuas, and these ones acted all right. They would come out and bark, but wouldn't really come up on the road. They weren't really hard to deal with. And then Rewild Their Life says, how do you not control a 5-pound dog? That's the thing. They couldn't pick it up and take it into the house. They just stand there and scream at it, and the dog just doesn't care. This doesn't care. Well, go back to Trailer Dog, the mangy old thing, and for a while we didn't see it. We thought it died, and then we saw it again, and then the person that owned it either moved out, got evicted, got arrested, died. I don't know what happened to her, but all of a sudden she wasn't there, and the dog wasn't there, and no one was living there, and it got really peaceful to walk the dogs for a little while. Even the Chihuahuas had kind of gone away. So there was somebody that had been staying with these people that didn't know how to let their dogs out, basically. And I think they left, and it got a lot better. So walks got really nice for a little while. We watched some guy, a contractor, I don't know if it was the owner of the trailer or a contractor, come in, and it looked like he was working on the trailer, getting it ready to maybe rent out again or sell or whatever. But we walk by every day and no problem. Then we saw some new people move in. Some stuff started going on there. I posted pictures in the Telegram group one day of the guy that was trying to maybe pull the tree over with a riding lawnmower. Just some odd stuff going on here or there. Junk piling up already. And it looked like somebody moved in. And then we started seeing some people there regularly. And all of a sudden there were dogs there again. Free. Not tied up, pit mix, and another dog, and I think that might have been a pit mix also, but that one didn't seem to bother much with us. But the one pit mix was very incessant of barking, not just when we were walking by, but 24 hours a day. You could hear it from our place. We're, like I said, probably 4 lots away, maybe 5, depending on how you count the properties in between. But you could hear it at our place, barking all day. It wasn't tied up. We had some times we walked by and the people were outside. They observed this, and it looked like they tied the dog up in the back room or in the back barn. So the dog could still see the road. When we would walk by, the dog would bark and we would know it was there, but it was in the back. It couldn't get out. It couldn't run out to the road. And I have to say, the dog never really came out at us. It would get to the edge of the grass. It would get to the edge of the road and it would stand there and bark. It was what it was. The same kind of situation where it was just harder to control our dogs who wanted to either, and you really can't tell, either wanted to go meet it because they were excited or they wanted to go kill it because they were excited. And it was every day. It was every day, whether the dog was tied up in the back or up to the road. Every day. And Corey and I would look at each other and we would try to sneak by without making any noise, hoping that the dog didn't hear us out back and come running out barking. But this was right at the beginning of our walk and right at the end of our walk when we turned around and come back. So it was a stressor to begin with. It was a stressor to come back to. And it was just like, this sucks. I go on these walks for enjoyment and relaxation, and this is what I have to deal with on both ends of it. So we dealt with it. It is what it is. Corey and I actually did decent with communicating with the dog to get it to kind of settle down a little bit. We could tell her to stay back. There were times where she would run into stuff and kind of spook herself, and then for a couple of days she was really hesitant and things like that. So this went on for a couple weeks, I think, maybe a month. About. And the other day, we were walking by. And the gentleman happened to be home that lived there. And I think he heard the dog barking like crazy. I don't know how he didn't hear it barking 24 hours a day. But it did amp up a little bit when we would drive by or walk by. And so we're walking by, dog's freaking out right at the side of the road, barking crazy at us. Our dog's barking back. One of our dogs is barking back incessantly. Excuse me. And the guy starts screaming at her. Get over here. Get over here. And I'm like, oh, man, this guy's going to get all pissed off. He's going to beat the shit out of this dog. Like, it's not the dog's fault. And that's the thing that we try to keep in mind, like, when it's free. There's a lot of stray dogs around here. There's a lot of people that just don't give a shit about taking care of their dogs, just don't give a shit about doing anything with their dogs here in Tennessee, if anybody owns them at all. And so Corey and I understand it's not the dog's fault. They don't know what to do. They're doing what they do naturally because there's nobody instructing them or teaching them what to do. So we're like, man, I really hope the dog doesn't get in trouble, because the dog doesn't know what to fucking do, and this guy's going to beat the shit out of it, is what I thought. And that was the same with Trailer Dog, the old mangy dog that was there. The lady would come out and just ever live and beat the shit out of the dog in the road. And I'm like, that dog doesn't know better. Like, why are you beating the shit out of it? It doesn't know better. You didn't teach it. And so this guy calls, he's screaming at this dog. He's obviously pissed off. The dog kind of cowers up and puts its tail down and runs up to doesn't run, kind of walks up to the over by where he is. And I was like, okay, that's it. He will start tying the dog up again, because the dog had been tied up out back for quite a while. And then it was all of a sudden it was loose again. And I didn't know if it broke its leash or got out of its collar or what was going on. But we're like, oh, okay, well, he realized it's a problem. And he'll tie the dog up. Cool. All right. Or maybe he's going to keep it inside. Because for a while it was inside, and it destroyed his blinds inside in the big bay window. You know, the trailers, the double wide trailers, they got the big bay window on one of the ends. We would walk by and that dog would be in the window and just like tear all the Venetian blinds down. It was, I mean, you've seen the same thing happen, I'm sure, if you have pets or have watched any sort of pet comedies on movies or anything like that. But anyway, we're like, okay, cool. Now we'll just have to deal with the dog barking. We don't have to deal with it up at the road. And we had worked with ours that when it was in the back barking, we had gotten to them to where that at least they wouldn't bark back. they would still get anxious and get all hyped up, but they wouldn't be barking. They wouldn't be trying to get over there. They would just kind of be curious and anxious about what was going on behind the trailer. So we go home, didn't think much of it. Day went by. I think we had some staggered walks. We had some rainy days. I don't think it was the next day. It might have been the day after. We went on our walk and there was nothing. There was no barking. There was no dog running out. And I was like, oh, he's got it inside, or it's sleeping in the barn. It's tied up. So we go on our walk. We come back, and no problem. No problem. No dog. We're like, oh, wow, that was nice. Then again, the next day. And I started wondering, I'm like, did they get rid of the dog? Did they get rid of this dog? I don't think it's inside anymore. Like, it hadn't been inside in weeks. And we notice over in the yard, there's a cross in the yard, a wooden cross, and a pile of dirt. I think the fucking dog is dead. I think Daisy, the pit bull mix, met her end. And I'm not sure if the dog got hit in the road. Like I said, it's a 45-mile-an-hour road. People it's over a little knoll where this house is. The dog was known to be wandering in the street. It could have definitely got hit by a car. But I'm wondering if the guy that I told him that this happens twice a day, every day, as we were walking by, and he's apologizing. I said, man, it's twice a day, every day. Twice a day, every day. I'm wondering if he decided to get rid of that problem. And I have a feeling, and I feel really bad about it, that maybe our interaction that day was the end of Daisy. And I don't know for sure if the dog in the if the grave in the yard is actually Daisy. He did have like I said, he did have another dog. He did have another dog. He did have a cat, I believe, but the pile looks about the right size. The pile looked about the right size. Rewilder Life says, would you put a cross if you did? Well, I don't necessarily think that he put the cross up because he has a girlfriend, and or wife or female that lives there. And we talked to her, and she was training the dog, quote unquote, training the dog. So I don't know if it maybe was her dog and maybe he was home and took care of the problem. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, you bring up a good point. Would you put a cross up if you popped the dog? And maybe he did. Maybe he felt bad. Maybe he just couldn't deal with the shit, and he's like, "This is stupid. We're done." Did the dog and then mark the grave. I don't know. John Palmer said, "I killed the dog." I did not kill the dog. I did not kill the dog. Now, I have mixed emotions about the dog not being there and whether it's dead or just gone somewhere. I feel sad that the dog met its end, if it did. But I also have been enjoying our walks much, much, much more without having to deal with her. So I don't know if it's a coincidence. I don't know if that dog is in that marked grave in the yard. I don't know if it was met its untimely death by being struck by a car, or whether it was inflicted by its owner, or maybe it was the older dog that just keeled over and they figured out how to keep the other one inside. I don't know. I will definitely let you guys know if I see Daisy in the future. If Daisy starts popping around and we see her again, I'll let you guys know. But for this moment, I have to believe Daisy met her end. I have to believe Daisy is in the dirt, and I feel bad for her because it wasn't her fault. She seemed like she could have been a sweet dog. when she would stop fucking barking for 2 seconds and calm the fuck down, or if she was scared. Like I said, she startled herself one time. You know the little boxes? I don't know if they're where you are. They weren't where I was in Minnesota, but here in Tennessee, they have little junction boxes in the yard where your water is, and it's just a little plastic box because it doesn't freeze very solid here. It stepped on the lid. It was like barking. It stepped on the lid, and the lid like flipped up under its belly, scared the living shit out of the dog. Dog jumps and yelps and kind of cowers away and stopped barking and ran up by the porch. And I was like, oh, this coincidental the dog being startled while we walk by. Maybe this is what freaks her out for the long term, and she just doesn't care anymore. Because we were getting there. We were getting close. Like we could get it to where she would bark half our walk by, and then she would calm down a little bit. And we felt like we were working with her. She was getting better. But now she's gone. So I don't know. We'll see. We will see. We'll continue to walk down the road. And but I gotta tell you, going for a walk and not having to deal with any distractions like that for our dogs and them getting amped up is so much more relaxing. So we will see with Daisy, the pit bull mix. That'd be 2 dogs that we saw go through at that trailer in our time here. the original trailer dog, I have to say, if that dog died, it would probably be merciful. That dog was old as shit. It was mangy. It had mange like all on its side. It obviously had skin issues, allergies of some sort, where it was digging and chewing at its skin. It was like missing fur. It just looked like a total shit show. And that lady absolutely beat the living shit out of it when it would run out in the road. I felt so bad for that thing. It's like you're wondering if it's running out and it's barking at you, just screaming, kill me, please kill me. I felt bad for a trailer dog, even though it was annoying as shit. And Daisy, I don't know. We'll see. Poor Daisy. So that's our coincidence. I don't know. That was our big news for the week, guys. Hope you had a great day. We'll talk to you later. Yeah, it's been on my mind quite a bit. It's been on my mind quite a bit for the last few days. So we'll see what happens. Next on my list, let me see. USPS nightmares. Fuck. More USPS bullshit. I have a feeling that it has to do with Memphis, the Memphis collection and transfer station here on the way to our place. Two different packages. Packages. One package. Friends sent a Christmas gift and had given me the tracking, and it just went dark. One of those moving gets to Memphis and just fucking stops for days. No update, no movement, no nothing. And then all of a sudden the tracking changes to out for delivery 4 or 5 days after it was scheduled to be there. And you just wonder, where was it? And how can thousands of packages move through that facility with no problem, but 10% of them just fucking stop? Where does it go? Did a whole load of packages just stop for 3 days? I watch tracking. I order a bunch of stuff. I have people sending me stuff. John says the Memphis USPS distribution center is terrible. You're telling me, and that's where the majority of my mail goes through. I'll be watching tracking numbers and it'll say arrived in Memphis. And I just hold my breath for 24 hours to see if I see departed to next destination. Because it's horrible. It's horrible. So that package eventually ended up showing up. And now I'm waiting on something from my parents. My my mom sent a Christmas card to us, and now that's going on 2 weeks transit from New York to Tennessee. Like I could have driven it back and forth like 9 times at this point for the time that it's taking for just a parcel. It's not even a parcel. It's just a letter. It's just a card in the mail. We'll see if that ever shows up. But a double. Hunter says reminds me of the Amazon guy that dumped packages on the side of the road. Hunter says my package from USPS was supposed to be here the 26th. Yeah, I don't know. It wouldn't be as bad. So I know my mom is anxious for it to get here. And I'm 25 minutes away from my mail. So I go to check. Normally I'll go and check every couple days unless I know I got something that got delivered, a package or something, a product from a company that I need to do a video. Otherwise I normally go every couple days. Right now I feel like I need to go daily to see if it showed up so she can stop worrying and be done with it. So Hunter says his package is just sitting in Houston for some reason. Right? Right? Wilder says, oh, we only get mail like 2 to 3 times a week still, and then we get a whole mailbox full. It'll say it's arriving, though. Also, we're missing an Xmas card, too. Yeah, it's... USPS is a fucking shit show, but I guess it's better than Canada Post. Did they make Canada Post go back to work yet? I don't know if we got any of our Canadians in the audience at the moment, but I know Canada Post was on strike for a long time, and I think they were going to make them go back right before Christmas. So that's more USPS bullshit. Other than that, it's not been horrible. Mail has been all right. I think I don't know. See, that's the thing with the mail and doing products and getting products from companies. I have companies, so I request a lot of stuff, but I also have companies that I've requested things from, and especially when it's like a broker that's representing multiple companies. Once they have my address, they'll just send me stuff. Like they ask me what genre of products I like to review, what products I like to test out and make videos about, and I give them a general range, and they'll just randomly send stuff. Well, if I don't know if it's coming and it doesn't show up, I have no fucking idea. So there's that. So luckily, I mean, my mom, my parents obviously wanted to make sure I got a Christmas card from them, and I didn't say anything. I didn't say, hey, thanks for the card. And they were curious, so they asked. But beyond that, there could be shit lost all the time, and you never even know. You would never even know. So we'll see. Got a couple of new products right now that I'm excited to make content about. Just got a new jacket. I don't even remember. It's like DuraWorks. DuraWork with an E. DuraWork. It's like a hiking jacket. Probably, I would say mid-weight. I've been testing it out here. We've had some temperature swings, and maybe in that 10 degree Fahrenheit to 40 degree 50 maybe. It's a fur lined soft shell jacket made for camping and hiking, and it says tactical on the list. I could see it'd be nice patrol coat, but water resistant, waterproof, and fur lined, and bunch of pockets, and it's nice. I'm liking it. I think it's going to be a recommend. I'm going to give it a little bit more time wearing it, It's supposed to get a little colder here midweek, end of the week. So if I can give it a week and wear it some and really test it out. But from what I've worn it cuts the wind really nice. It seems to be reasonably water resistant. I don't necessarily know waterproof. I didn't wear it in any sort of downpour or anything like that. But I like it. It's comfortable. It's comfortable. It's a little on the snug side for me. So it might need to be ordered a size up, but yeah, I like it. I like it. Price point is right in there. It's in that $60 to $70 range, I think, for a nice soft shell seasonal jacket. I'm thinking this would be, well, depending on where you're at. This would be a fall, winter, spring jacket. Could be a layer for sure. And then I have, I mean, I'm not supposed to say anything about it till the 3rd, but maybe you gotta wait till the 3rd. I got another thing that I got the privilege of getting an early release, and it's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet little thing, and I don't want to get in trouble. And I want to continue to get the privilege of early release. So I think I should probably, I have it on my list here, and I just realized I should probably wait till the 3rd to talk about it. So exciting products coming soon. A couple of other things. Oh, I got something ordered. It wasn't a product that I got from a company. Hunter says, "Is it green?" No. No, it's not green. Its namesake might be green. Something I bought for myself that I'm excited to move forward in the new year. I know it's I've talked here a lot about don't wait till the 1st of the month, don't wait till the 1st of the year, blah blah blah, and all that shit. I'm starting today with a lot of stuff that I've been thinking about over the last couple of weeks. I've been taking some time, like when I rolled this show back to once a week, really feeling out what I want to do with that time in the morning, what things I want to focus on in 2025 and in the first quarter 2025. But one thing that I've been really enjoying this year is reading the Daily Stoic, and you can see it's almost done. Way down there, we got one more day. And then there's some notes at the end of the book. But the book starts on January 1st. I didn't choose it. But it makes sense. It's a daily, 1 day a week, 1 day, 1 reading a day, every day for the year. Got that out. A Stoic meditation from some of the great Stoics, and then Ryan Holiday's take on it below. I've probably I tried to figure it out. I'm really bad on the weekends. I miss a lot on the weekends. But I would have to say I probably hit it 85% this year. I ended up getting it a little bit into January last year. I'll answer that in a second, Hunter. I got it mid-January. I started on the day I was at, and it's changed the way I think about stuff. I have to admit that it's had an impact on my life. Enough that I decided I want to try to do every day this coming year. I'm going to make a conscious effort to make sure I hit the weekends. I want to make sure that if I have a unusual routine on a day, I want to make sure that I plan this into it. And one way that I've decided to try to cement that in a little bit more is I ordered the journal that goes along with it. It's supposed to be here today. Hopefully it shows up today or tomorrow, so I can start on the 1st. But there is a companion hardcover journal that goes with the book that day by day by day, it has a related journaling exercise to go along with that day's passage and Ryan's thoughts. So I haven't looked at the journal yet. Obviously, it's not here, but from what I can tell and the reviews and the thoughts people have had, it does a great job of tying it all together and relating. It helps you relate more to your life, the passage of the day. So we'll see. I'm excited to, it's been a while since I did any journaling like that. I really am trying to focus on holding myself accountable for the things I want to accomplish this year going forward. So that journaling will be a good way to do that, and documenting some things another way. I got some ideas of how I want to hold myself accountable for the next thing I'm going to talk about. Some of the stuff I want to learn and get a better understanding of in quarter one that's coming up this year. But I definitely suggest the Daily Stoic book if you don't want to get the hardcover and read it, which is it. So it's available on Audible. The Daily Stoic is available on Audible. It's available on Kindle. It's available hardcover. Like I said, I haven't used the journal yet, but that's on the way. That's obviously hardcover or softcover, but a physical book. I don't know if you can find it digitally where you can journal on a computer or a tablet or a phone or something like that. I think the point is to actually write the journal. And I'm excited to do that, even though my handwriting is absolutely horseshit. That's secret code and no one will be able to read it, but I'm excited to do that. And if you want to do it, also, you don't need to start on the first of the year. You can start like I did in the middle of January or whenever during the year. And you can always finish up on the tail end in 2026. But you can find the Daily Stoic and the journal on the recommended reading list on my Amazon idea list. So my Amazon storefront, amazon.com/shop/the Lots Project. Or you can scroll down into the video description and there is a link. It says Amazon recommended reading list or something similar to that. Recommended reading list on Amazon right there, or a coffee gear list on Amazon. There's lists to that. You can check out all the videos I've done for Amazon, but I'm excited to do the Daily Stoic journal. Hunter says, do you get a day off or is there some super secret passage for the 29th of January? I'm going to open it up. So it's 366 meditations is the description here. March 2nd. February 29th is actually in the book. So I guess on you get a double up on the 28th or the 1st of March if it's not a leap year. But it's 366. There's one for every day. There's one for every day. So I highly suggest picking it up. It's had an impact on my life. And it wasn't every day. I tried as much as I shouldn't say that. I didn't try as much as I could. If I had tried as much as I could, I would have read it every day. I put an effort into it and fell short. And probably, like I said, probably 85% of the days since I've had the book, I've read it. I'm going to try to get every day. I see that much value in it that I'll go through it again and add on the journal at that point. So that is that. Something else on that recommended reading list I added yesterday are the books by a guy named Christoph Morrow. I have not read them. So recommended reading, I haven't read them. They're not really my type of book, but it is a guest that I'm having on. I'm having on the show on Director Detour. Man, that was a brain fart. He's my guest, my Wednesday episode of Director Detour. This guy named Christoph Morrow. I was editing it yesterday, and it just brought a smile to my face. I think it was probably one of the better, or if not the best, episode of Director Detour yet. You're going to want to check it out. It's interesting. He's a Navy vet, a disabled Navy vet. He's a writer, many award winning writer. He writes like fantasy fiction, I think is how he described it. But he's got a couple books out. He's got stories, short stories, and poems. But he has Tourette's. He developed Tourette's in his 20s, and has had to deal with that, and not just little tics. Like, his Tourette's has manifested to a point where he physically abuses himself constantly. Black eyes, broken hands, busted cheeks, broken bones, along with verbal and other involuntary tics. Fascinating dude. Interesting interview. We had some connection problems right at the beginning. I talk about it in the show, but we had some connection problems right at the beginning, and especially before we went live, when we first fired up and had a little chat before we recorded, and it was interesting, I guess would be a great word to say. Interesting to communicate with someone with Tourette's while you were having intermittent connection issues on the chat stream. But turned out great. Had a great conversation. Had a great conversation with him. Other episodes this week, John McIntyre released this morning. He has basically lived a lot of time in Asia. He has absorbed a lot of culture into them, and come up with a business system that kind of melds classic Six Sigma type of thinking along with Kaizen and Eastern Asian styles of management and stuff like that. He's an interesting, fascinating dude. It was a fun conversation. And then Friday, Eric McHugh is he's a trip too. That was a great conversation. He is the founder, partner, co-founder, founder. I haven't looked at the notes quite yet, but of ShopX. He is a 30-year-old tech entrepreneur that has done very well for himself, and was a really interesting chat. We're really on the same wavelength, and had a really good discussion. And a lot of these episodes, the people I click with are kind of going off the rails, and we don't talk a whole lot necessarily about their journey, but stuff that clicks and we're interested in. So I'm excited. John McIntyre was a perfectly fine interview. I think you'd enjoy it. That was today, but you're definitely going to want to check out Wednesday and Friday episodes, Christoph Morrow and Eric McHuff. It's a good week. It's a good week of shows. I was, like I said, I was doing that editing, and I was excited about this week. So that's coming up. Link for Directed Detour down in the video description. There's the Patreon link. You can find it in any of your podcast players, or the new NPub site. Using my Noster notes, you can go to directordetour/npub.pro. Excuse me, directordetour.npub.pro. Yes. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I've been digging into that along with a bunch of other stuff on Noster. So, Rewaller Life says chats are a good way to be accountable. Yeah. Having chats are. I was thinking social media posts. I'm going to talk about what my Q1 thoughts are here in a second. Good morning, Chris Dixon. Thanks for stopping in. Looking forward to the Christoph Morrow interview. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. He's an interesting cat. I hope to talk with him and collaborate with him some more. He was a very down to earth guy, and I really enjoyed talking to him. Good morning, Pip. How we doing? Thanks for stopping. I hope you're having a fantastic day. And Hunter says, side note, I'd like to talk to you about website hosting and all of that kind of crap. Rock and roll, man. I got you. We can chat about it. I'm not an expert by any means, but I have had a website for going on a decade, or almost a decade now, I guess. I guess it's been longer than that, because we didn't start with just the farm website. I had websites before that. Interesting. All right. It's been a while. New year, new learning. This is taking shape over the last month. Going into this week, I gotta start today. Feeling out how I want to finally set this up. I've been messing with it over the last week, figuring out where I want to do it, how I want to stick it in to my schedule. But I'm really focusing on trying to learn a little bit every day. You see the 1% better every day, that adds up, blah, blah, blah. It's true. Don't try to make that overnight change going into New Year's. Focus on getting a little bit better every day. I took that to a different light, and I've decided I just picked for Q1. I picked 3 topics that I want to make sure I learn something new about those topics every day. Something, anything. A vocabulary word, a website, a reference point, anything up to 20 minutes of digging in. That's kind of my time frame I set in for each topic, is about 20 minutes a day, up to 20 minutes a day, where I want to dedicate myself to particular topics. Topics I picked for Q1 are AI. I want to keep up with AI. 20 minutes a day, I should be able to do that, whether it's a podcast, an article, exploring a new AI model, or learning how to learn with AI or do other things with AI. It's going to be AI focused for a little bit, at least every day. Another thing is Bitcoin. I'm really pushing into some with the bull run coming up, some onboarding. I have a niche group that I'm trying to onboard into Bitcoin, and really anybody that wants to learn and have handheld through the setup process, the getting going process, the answer my questions I feel stupid asking in public forums. I'm going to set it up the way I attempted to set it up before, with a consultation. And I just want to know, I want to know where you want to get, what you want to learn, what steps, where you're at and where you want to go. Determine if I can help you and set a path and give you a price, and we'll figure it out. But I want to start understanding Bitcoin on a deeper level. I'm about 7 years into this journey, from when I really started to take notice and dive in a little bit. So I know enough. I know I can help. I can help anybody get started. Can I answer every single one of their questions? Probably not. And that's a problem for me. No, not every question. I shouldn't say that. That's not a problem. I don't feel comfortable with my level yet to where I should stop learning beginner things. So I'm going to focus on Bitcoin. I'm going to learn things for me, for my future and my better understanding, and also to help people that are newer to it than me. And the third topic I'm going to look into every day is Nostr. I went on a little Nostr bender over the last couple days, dug into a bunch of stuff, and it continues to blow my mind daily, what's being accomplished there. It's the future of Nostr, whether it becomes mainstream or not, is so valuable to me that I'll dedicate 20 minutes a day to learn more about it, and use it regularly. I've I've contemplated greatly deleting all my other social medias. It's hard when I have to promote things, and I have to promote things that other people that are not tied into Nostr are dependent on. When I'm interviewing people and I'm like, well, I only promoted on Nostr, and they're like, well, what is that? I don't know if that's necessarily fair to my guests. I think anything personal is going to be completely on Nostr. I think I'm going to shift anything new that I'm building onto Nostr. I think I can focus a little bit on onboarding to there, but the new things that are developing and at lightning speed is fantastic. My 2-year anniversary on Nostr is coming up here in a couple months, so I'm about 21 months in. And the changes and the developments in that 21 months is just mind-boggling. Functionality and different things available, and seeing what's happening soon. It's exponentially growing. So I'm excited about that, and I want to learn more about it, and I want to be able to grow there for a variety of reasons, and I'll probably do a little bit. I'll have to dig in and really do a synopsis of that. So, Chris Dixon says you still have to go where the people are, and they're everywhere. That's the thing. And for the sake of onboarding to people to Nostr, I feel that there have to be bridges. If you live in your bubble there and you don't expose anybody to it, and I know you can do it in person. I don't talk to enough people in person, but I do have a footprint, whether it be large, small, or in between, on different social media platforms. And if I can verbalize a reason to go there, if I can share the things that I'm learning daily and intrigue people to come and try it, onboarding is getting stupid simple. The developers there are understanding that onboarding is the key. When people show up and it's hard to sign up, it's not going to stick. When people show up and it's easy to sign up and it's easy to use and get started, then they start getting more involved. Then they start learning the actual deeper benefits of using it, and the possibilities there. They just launched, or they, I guess, have been working on. There was a new version launched over the weekend of an Instagram style client for Nostr. So all those likes on Instagram could have been micropayments in Bitcoin. It's taken a while for them to figure out how to do that and how to make it run smoothly. And I know someone asked yesterday about file hosting and things like that. And I don't know the answer to where the files get hosted and how that works. If they go into more of a video, like a TikTok clone or something like that. And I don't want to call them clones. These guys are it's not a clone. It can't work as a clone, but similar in feel and style and functionality. I don't know how that works. And that's why that's on my list to learn more about every day. I've spent 2 years there learning, and I feel like I could probably spend weeks and weeks and weeks trying to figure out more. So I'm excited to do that. So I'm going to be focusing on AI, Bitcoin, and Nostr in Q1, but I still got all sorts of other shit to do. But I'm thinking it might turn into a post. It might turn into an evening video post. The things I learned today. It wouldn't be long. It would probably be recorded. It would probably be out on all the networks. And like I said, exposing people to things I learned on Nostr about Nostr or Bitcoin or AI are only going to help people get interested in going down those rabbit holes themselves. So I'm thinking that I don't know. Right now, it's for me. It's for my personal development, but if I can share that with others, isn't that the point? So excited to do that. Excited to dive into some AI. My first question for AI is, how can I use AI to learn more about AI? So that is the first topic that I'm going to go down, and then parlay that into using it to learn about Bitcoin and Nostr and make it easier. There's a developer I follow on Nostr right now that has transformed his morning walk with his dog into his device reading him articles of his choosing, condensing them, consolidating them, synopsizing them, and verbally reading them to him while he's on his dog walk. He asked his device to do it, and he's got an AI prompt set up that it scours for new information, consolidates it, and verbalizes and reads it to him while he's walking his dog. So I think there are some definitely some easy things to set up to make learning every day easier. Let me see what else. What else? Oh, Price is Right. Price is wrong, bitch. Corey and I clicked on The Price is Right on Amazon yesterday, and it's interesting, guys. They're episodes from the early 80s. It's the Bob Barker year, the Bob Barker era, I think. It's called The Price is Right, the Bob Barker era. So I think the first episode we watched was from 1982. It was. I'm glad we clicked on it. I've laughed. I've laughed a ton. I've also been trying to figure out if Bob Barker was tanked the whole time. I'm trying to figure out if he was hammered drunk, if he is a complete racist, if he is a misogynist, if he knows what he's doing, and how they pulled off keeping that show on the air as long as they did with all the malfunctions and problems they had in the couple episodes I've seen so far. It is a far cry from what I remember watching even in the late 80s. Bob is constantly making errors. He's explaining one example. Here's an example where I really thought he might have been a little racist and a misogynist all in one. They had the woman come up. She won the bidding, the original bidding, the bidders row or whatever. I can't remember what it's called. But she won. She came up. She got to play a game on stage, and it was a poker game. I've seen it before. I can't. High, low, maybe. Can't remember exactly what the name of the show was or the name of the game, but basically you pick prices of items and they make a poker hand, and then the other prices make another poker hand, and the highest hand wins. So you want to hold the highest hand. And so the woman comes up and he's like, this is how you play the game. And he like speed talks through it. He's like, yeah, you pick this number, and this number, and you look for it up. Like, I'm like, holy shit, I know how to play poker. And that was a fucked up description. And so he looks at her and says, do you know how to play poker? And she's like, no. This is like a tiny little black woman. She's like, no. He's like, oh, well, I'll help you. I'll help you. So she goes, she's like, oh, she picks a couple, and she had a pair of nines. I think she had a pair of nines and a pair of eights or something like that. And he's like, so this is how you play poker. If you get pairs or you get three of a kind, that's better than the pairs. And so I'm telling you, you should probably with the pair of nines, you should probably put that at the bottom and take the other hand. And she's like, she's all nervous. She don't know what to do. She's like, okay, I'll take the bottom. I'll do that. And so he's like, all right, let's look at the other hand. And they put it up there, and she lost. And he goes, you lose. She's standing there stunned, like she had no fucking clue what was going on. Not one clue. And he's like, get out of here. It's like, you lose. See ya. He it seemed like any person that was a woman that wasn't fairly attractive, with some form of her breast showing, whether it was a tight shirt or a low cut shirt, he was very standoffish against all women other than that. And it seemed like most black folks that came up, he was pretty standoffish. I'm not calling Bob Barker a racist. It was a different time in the early 80s. But there was definitely a different interaction, noticeably different interaction with him between different types of folks that came up on stage. It was interesting to watch. So if you got Prime, you could go check that out. It's the Bob Barker era of Price is Right. It was we'll continue to watch it. It's interesting. It's interesting to see the technology fails that they have. Hunter says, I remember him being kind of handsy. Yeah, there's that too. And then the whole, when they get the when we first saw when they get the right exact number on the bidding with the all the people, the bidders row, they win $100 extra. And the first time it happened, the girl comes up and he's like, put your hand in my pocket and grab 100. And I didn't happen to be looking at the screen, and it kind of slipped my mind that it was in his jacket pocket. And I was like, wait, what? Wait, what did he say? Did he just say, put your hand in my pocket and grab 100? I was like, what is going on? But yeah, he was pretty handsy. He was definitely scoping down the shirt of a couple of guests when they were up there, and he's talking to him and he cuddles up to him. It's an interesting experience for sure. So old Bob Barker, maybe Dixon Way says 80s TV was just different. People's head would explode today. Oh, if that episode, so if I notice it, the guy that just doesn't give a shit, if I notice it's probably pretty blatant, and I have to feel that the woke would absolutely fucking shit a brick if that was the case. But Corey made a good point. Maybe Adam Sandler was right on Happy Gilmore. Maybe Bob was a bitch. Maybe Bob needed to get his ass kicked. And maybe Bob was able to kick Happy Gilmore's ass because he'd been in enough fights from being an asshole. I don't know. Clip contest. If you're still listening and you haven't clipped an episode of Director Detour or this show, episode 816 or later, 816, 17, 18, or today's episode 19. If you haven't done that, you're going to want to go over to Fountain, pick it up, download Fountain. If you don't have Fountain yet, it's a fantastic podcast app. That also has come a long, long way since I originally downloaded it. Probably it was before Nostr, before I started using Nostr. So at least 2 years. and seeing that come along and actually interacting with the developers on that recently again for some things. But if you want to head over to Fountain, find Director Detour or this show and make a clip, Jim's running away with it, guys. Jim has so many entries. I need some folks to come over and make clips of the show just to counteract Jim. Jim is a clipping machine. If you need help learning how to clip, ask Jim. It's not just my show. Jim is an absolute clicking machine, and I appreciate it greatly. Dixon says Jim has nothing better to do. Wow. Them's are fighting words, I think. But yeah, head over to Director Detour, make a clip. get entered in a drawing to win this Blockstream Jade. We're going to give that away beginning of February, so you have until the end of January to head on over there and make a clip, and I will see it. I check every day and look what clips are made, and until someone else makes one, I don't have to really do any recording because Jim's just going to win. Somebody's got to go over and make a clip, so I have to have the drawing. Can't just, or should I just mail it to Jim right now and call the contest off? I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, clip contest episode 816 of this show or later, or any episode of Director Detour through January 31st, get you entry into a drawing for the Blockstream Jade. If you're on Nostr, there's something I found this weekend. If you are on Nostr and you use Android phone, Hunter says, are they good clips though? I didn't specify the quality of the clips. I did not. Sorry guys, I got a little bit of hair in my mouth. I didn't specify the quality of the clips. If you're on Nostr, you use an Android phone and you want to find I don't know if it would work. I don't think it works with Apple. I think they have to go through test flight on Apple. But there's a new F-Droid, let's say. If you're on an Android phone and you got the Google Play Store, if you don't know, there is an open source Play Store, App Store for Android called F-Droid, where you can get the non-Googled apps, things that Google won't let into their App Store, so open source stuff and things that just doesn't abide to their rules, and other features over on F-Droid, alternative apps. Nostr now has what's called the Zap Store. It's a place where you can download clients and apps and systems that work with the Nostr protocol. I just checked it out a little bit, and it looks very, very promising. Another thing that spurred me down I need to learn more about Nostr when I saw all the different functionalities that are already there. And they might be in the R&D phase. They might be in the development phase. They might be getting better. They might be horrible. They might be just there. But look at the Play Store and all the trash that's in there that doesn't work. You just got to figure it out. You gotta go through. You gotta be responsible for what you're downloading. These there are folks out there that want to fuck things up. That's whether that's on the Google Play Store, on F-Droid, or Zap Store, you got to kind of be responsible for yourself. And in a world of, if you're entering, so I think it comes with how do I want to put this? Once you go down a path of Bitcoin, I think it really, and you go down a path of Bitcoin, you go down a path of self-custody, you go down a path of personal responsibility, that there's no customer service to call. There's nobody to fix your fuck ups. There's, personal responsibility. I think once you experience that, and the satisfaction of doing it correctly, the satisfaction of knowing that if you fuck it up, it's your fault. You're forced to have personal responsibility. I think it bleeds into other parts of your life. And I think it's what's needed right now, especially in social media. When you go to Facebook and we block this post, we ban this post because we're taking care of you. Where is my role in deciding what I want to see and what I want to know and what I want to determine whether it's right or wrong? That's personal responsibility. That's taking that job on for yourself. That's not letting Facebook or X or LinkedIn or whatever, YouTube, feed you things that they think you should know or censor things that they feel are wrong. I think once you get a taste of personal responsibility from wherever that comes, and I think Bitcoin is a good catalyst for that. Nostr is a fantastic catalyst for that. You want it in a lot of aspects of your life. I know I do. So Zap Store, definitely be not, I don't want to say be cautious. Know what you're downloading. Know what you're downloading. There are developers on Nostr, and as you use it, you will be able to easily identify the folks that are there for the betterment of the community, that are there for the betterment of the protocol, that are there looking to not screw anybody over. And there's trusted, like you can ask. You can ask on Nostr, hey, and hashtag Ask Nostr works great. Hey, this app I'm seeing on Zap Store is this is it. Here's the name of it. Blah blah blah. Any problems with it? Is it trusted? Is it good? Ask. People will tell you. People will be more than happy to tell you. And Hunter says in an action movie trailer voiceover. Let me see if I can do it. Excuse me. In a world of malintent. Is that malintent? What the fuck? In a world of malintent, only one man can take control. Personal responsibility, man. Jesus. It's not hard. You can figure it out. You can ask me. So anyway, gonna wrap it up here. Unless you guys got anything else you want to talk about, I got a bunch of stuff to do today. Rolling in, getting things adjusted for the new year. I hope you guys are all gonna have a happy new year. Maybe we'll pop on at some point this week if I get time. That's another thing I've been contemplating doing is just pop-up stuff. Not scheduled. If I got something I want to talk about, send out a blast and talk about it. Trying to figure out how I want to do what I learned today or something like that. Quick hitting. I don't know what platform that's going to go on or how that's going to go. I just got a bunch of stuff on the list. Plus moving forward with Delinquent Scully and the cabin and it's going to be a busy year. I'm excited to get rolling. Start today. Don't wait till New Year's. Don't wait till Wednesday. How about a couple practice days? You got something you're going to do in the new year? New diet, new exercise, new something? Try it tomorrow. Maybe you got to adjust a few things so that it works on Monday. Maybe we should have been doing it last week or today or something like that. So anyway, hopefully go get my journal. I'm not going to start on the last page of my journal. That is something I'm going to wait till the 1st. So hopefully it comes today or tomorrow at the latest, and I can start with that. I'd love you to join me, and we can always talk about it over in the Lots Project chat on Telegram, t.me/LotsChat. That's t.me/LotsChat. Join the group. I'll have a chat with you to make sure you're not a bot or a spammer. I'll just send you a message, ask you where you heard about the group, and then approve you, and you can join in the fun and conversation. Other than that, like I said, check out Director Detour. 3 fantastic episodes, 2 really good episodes this week, Wednesday, Thursday. John McIntyre today is there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, it's a good chat. But man, Christian Morrow was a pleasure to talk to. So you're going to definitely want to check that out. Make a clip when you do over on Fountain, and you have the possibility of winning a Blockstream Jade. Check out the Fold debit card. I didn't talk much about that, but it is great. And over the Blockstream Jade, over the Blockstream store, there's a 10% discount when you use the Lots Project, or you can click the link down in the episode description. Head on over, grab a Jade. I believe for a couple more days they have the buy one Jade, get one half off deal. It's a great deal. It's a great deal, and then you get 10% off on top of that with the discount code. So check it out. I appreciate everybody listening today. If you find my stuff on social media, if you'd give it a share, maybe somebody would like to see it, hear it, or check it out. If you know anybody that would like the show, pass it on to them, or Director Detour, like I said, or any of the other socials. I appreciate all you guys hanging out this morning. I hope you have a fantastic day. I hope you had a Merry Christmas, and you have a great New Year, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. It is what it is. It's for you. It's not for me. Have a great day, guys. Enjoy it. Get a bunch of shit done, and we will circle back and talk with you next Monday.